Yes, Shalom Akim. We're going to check out what's been going on in the White House, some of these updates, the claim of fraud. Welcome fraud. Kayleigh McEnany says Democrats committed election fraud against President Trump. So the word is that he's not cooperating with Biden, the so-called new president. So he's fired a lot of his colleagues. And we're going to hear it out, man. We're going to hear it out because this is just a sign of the Egyptians rising up against the Egyptians. A house divided against itself can't stand. So we're going to roll in the spirit. So we're going to give all praises to Yehovah Hashem, Yehoshai, Hashem, Harakah, Quadash, double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the sincere Akim. Let's just play this and roll in the spirit. If we bring out any precepts to correspond with what is being said, we can do that. Let's check this out without further ado.
All right, folks, welcome everyone here to News Now from Fox. Taking out to Washington, D.C., we got Kayleigh McEnany speaking right now on President Trump's legal campaign right now.
Is not over. Far from it. We have only begun the process of obtaining an accurate, honest vote count. We are fighting for the rights of all Americans who want to have faith and confidence not only in this election, but in the many elections to come. There is only one party in America that opposes voter ID. One party in America that opposes verifying signatures, citizenship, residency, eligibility. There is only one party in America trying to keep observers out of the count room. And that party, my friends, is the Democrat Party. You don't take these positions because you want an honest election. You don't oppose an audit of the vote because you want an accurate count. You don't oppose our efforts at sunlight and transparency because you have nothing to hide. You take these positions because you are welcoming fraud and you are welcoming illegal voting. Our position is clear. We want to protect the franchise of the American people. We want an honest, accurate, lawful count. We want maximum sunlight. We want maximum transparency. We want every legal vote to be counted, and we want every illegal vote to be discarded. Unlike our opponents, we have nothing to hide. The integrity of our election matters. The Constitution of the United States matters. What we have seen across the country is Democrat officials systematically trying to do an end run around the Constitution to tip the scales of the election in their favor. As Justice Gorsuch wrote in DNC versus Wisconsin state legislature, our oath to uphold the Constitution is tested by hard times, not easy ones. Last-minute changes to long-standing election rules risk other problems too, inviting confusion and chaos and eroding public confidence in electoral outcomes. Pennsylvania is a case study in just this. Allow me to just broadly review 3 points that have happened in Pennsylvania. Number one, in Philadelphia, poll watchers who are legally permitted to be there and observe the vote count were blocked from observing the count. Our poll watchers were put behind barricades in a massive room. They were many feet from the counting process, and in fact, when you look at all of the tables, many hundreds of feet, in fact, from the tables in the very back. They were completely in the dark, completely unable to oversee the vote count, as was their legal right. An observer on the scene described it this way. Imagine being on a football field. You're on the 10-yard line and expected to make a call in the end zone on the other side of the field. It is unacceptable. An intermediary court ruled on the side of the campaign, on the side of transparency and allowing the poll watchers to observe the count. But what did the Democrat Pennsylvania Supreme Court do? They issued an administrative stay, effectively pushing back our poll watchers and denying them the access they deserve to sit and watch the count. Ask yourself this: what are Pennsylvania Democrats hiding? Why can't poll watchers simply observe the count? Second, Article 1, Section 4 of the United States Constitution clearly states this: the time, place, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. That's right, the state legislature is constitutionally the one making the decision. But the Supreme Court of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Kathy Boockvar, and the Democrat-tilted Pennsylvania Supreme Court have continually disregarded the Constitution, making decisions clearly in the domain of the Pennsylvania legislator. In fact, maybe there's a reason the Secretary of State, Boockvar, keeps substituting her will for that of the legislature in a completely unconstitutional fashion. Perhaps it's because she has motive. In fact, she has shown her partisan hatreds tweeting this. Using the title, quote, president before the word, quote, Trump, really dismeans the office of the presidency. We see where her motives stand. And finally, a mere survey of the facts shows that voters in blue counties like Philadelphia County were given certain privileges that voters in red counties were not afforded. The Constitution's Equal Protection Clause requires uniform standards, but Democrat election officials created disparities depending on where citizens lived and where they voted in the state. Some counties set up satellite offices for backdoor early voting, whereas other counties did not. Some counties allowed pre-canvassing, where other counties did not. Voters in some counties were allowed to cure their ballots, whereas voters in other counties were not. What Pennsylvania has done is provide a case study into how to tip the scales of an election to functionally favor the Democrat Party. This has gone on nationwide. And I'll leave you with this. In DNC versus Wisconsin State Legislature, in another attempt to count late ballots that arrived after the election, Justice Gorsuch wrote, "Nothing in our founding document contemplates the kind of judicial intervention that took place here, nor is there precedent for it in 230 years of the court's decisions." He went on to say, "No one doubts that conducting a national election amid a pandemic poses serious challenges. But none of that means individual judges may improvise with their own election rules in place of those the people's representatives have adopted." They have taken a global pandemic and turned it into a nationwide electoral epidemic. They have taken, based on what they call a natural disaster, they have used that and turned this into a national disaster. And with that, I'll turn it over to Matt Morgan, General Counsel for the campaign.
All right, that's enough for that. Ugly Edomite woman on the blouse. What's her name? Kayleigh McEnany says, committee says the Democrats committed election fraud against President Trump. That was her voice you just heard, the ugly Edomite woman. The leprous, with her leprous hair and her leprous face, you know. No colour face people, them. Ugly bomber clock, them. But let's bring out a precept, because the word is out that Trump is throwing wobblies. People are walking on eggshells in the White House and on the golf course, and all around him are walking on eggshells because he's throwing his toys at the pram. He's not cooperating with Biden. He doesn't want to leave the White House, even though he's still got up until January or February. He's still officially still president. But he's saying he's not gonna, he's gonna press charges, he's going to court, election fraud, against the Democrats. So let's bring out this precept. We're gonna end off the video. I mean, there's gonna be some more. I know that do a couple more videos on this, bring out some more, because people there's a lot of whistleblowers coming out, and you're gonna hear much more. Really, it's from on high, Yahweh Yahushai. I'm going to read this in Isaiah 19, man. Isaiah 19, we're going to start from 1. It says, "The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord shall rise up a swift cloud, and shall come unto Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against their brother." That's what you're seeing now. Because a house divided against itself can't stand. That's what Yahushua is saying. "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians," and that's what the Most High is doing. He's the ultimate stirring the pot. Yahushua is, as you would say, he's stirring the pot. He's stirring up the Egyptians against the Egyptians. He's the one who's in control of these are just puppets to him. So he's got them at each other's throats, man. And we're going to hear some more, no doubt. "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against their brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom," man. Yeah, the lockdown protests over here in England. I put up a video yesterday of the Abu 7 That was massive, and they're keeping it off the mainstream for people to you know, so it goes under the radar. But you know what? Nothing escapes Yahweh Yahushua. He's the one who's got his hand up the puppets behind, man, controlling the puppets. You understand? He's the ultimate puppet master, controlling everything what's going on. And nothing escapes him. There's nothing that escapes Yahweh Yahushua. Everything that is in the dark shall come out into the light. So even if there is fraud, you know, against the Democrats, even if it does go to court, what the Most High, the decision is already bound up in heaven. Who's going to be the president for now? Some say Biden's going to be the one to really set everything off, man, set the fires and spark off the flames, man, for this the ultimate vaccinations, and then the microchip, man, the mark of the beast, which doesn't really matter who's in. The Most High is in control of both of them anyway. So let them fight. Let the Egyptians fight against the Egyptians. And we're going to give all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai. We're going to end there because there's many more. I'm going to bring out some more videos, and there's other people speaking out, other even people that were even more close to Donald Trump, saying he's not going to be nice being around Donald Trump while he's not taking his loss very easily. He's going to go out kicking and screaming, you know. Because the word is he's not very good at losing, which we know that anyway. He's a sore loser, and there's many of his own people, you know, speaking against him, man. So we're gonna catch up with more, no doubt, and we're gonna give all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai for giving me the spirit to do this video. Rise up to the house of David. Yes, we are next in. We got next, because these people are gonna fight against them one another. Let them fight, man. It's all right with us. Kala Yahweh Shem Shai, Shalom to all the sincere, Akim Shalak Ram be upon all the wicked, and everything they've done to us, past, present, and future, may fall upon their own head. We out.